So as we've told you many times before, as soon as the economy crashed to the benefit of the big banks, the New York Times, Washington Post, et cetera, started throwing the word racist around with increasing volume. It was almost like they were working on behalf of the oligarchs to divide the rest of us against each other so we wouldn't notice that a small group was getting super, super rich. Almost nobody in journalism ever mentions this. Batya Ungar-Sargon is one of the few who does. She just went on CNN over the weekend. I feel a little guilty playing a clip from a rival network, but this is just too good to miss. Here's how it went.
The media's response to Youngkin's victory is literally the reason that he won, right? How did they respond?
There's 100 medias, 100 reactions. You're pretty overly generalizing, I think.
Let me get more specific for you, okay? Because I have to say, I have to admit, having watched CNN all week, there's been a lot of very, very, very good genuflection on this front. But what happened right after the election was you saw host after host after host on MSNBC saying, oh, this is a victory for white supremacy, right? White supremacy wins again. Racism wins again. When, you know, the lieutenant governor that Youngkin won with will be the first black woman to hold that job. When Glenn Youngkin managed to flip majority black districts.
Batya Ungar-Sargon is the deputy opinion editor at Newsweek, also author of the new book, Bad News, How Woke Media is Undermining Democracy. She joins us tonight. Batya, thanks so much for coming on. I'm sorry to embarrass you with that clip. It was just too amusing.
Oh my gosh, Tucker, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, of course. So you say it's undermining democracy. What I think is interesting about your take on it is you take it to, I think, a deeper level. It's more than just annoying. There's a purpose to all this. What do you think the purpose is?
Well, I think you really nailed it in your opening, Tucker. You know, you started out by saying that we have this deep class divide in America that separates the people who are really feeling, you know, the inflation at the gas pump from the people who live in, you know, coastal cities who maybe don't drive, maybe they take Ubers, maybe they take the subway. And the history of journalism in the 20th century in America is the history of a class of people moving from one of those classes to the other, right? Journalism used to be a working class trade, and throughout the 20th century, journalists became part of the American elites. And as they did so, they abandoned the working class of all races. And what we're seeing now with woke media is just the latest stage of that abandonment.
I mean, I've seen it up close. I think you're exactly right. The composition of newsrooms is completely different. But that's a perversion of the core mission of journalism. We always heard when I was 30 years ago when I started, you know, it's to afflict the comfortable and comfort the afflicted, to hold the powerful to account, you know what I mean, be the eyes and ears of your readers and viewers. Like, it does seem like they're a Praetorian Guard for the billionaire class. I'm sorry to overstate it, but it feels that way.
Yeah, you really see a lot of class solidarity right now among liberal elites. And I'm saying this as a lefty, Tucker. I'm coming at this from the left and feeling like, how did we abandon the working class, again, of all races? How did we become the side that comforts the comfortable and afflicts the afflicted?
So where does this go? I mean, we need a working media. We need a media people trust. It's an essential ingredient in democracy. I think everyone agrees with that. No one trusts the media anymore. So what's the next phase in this evolution, do you think?
Honestly, Tucker, I think that every American has to relearn the work of learning to respect people that we disagree with. You're seeing a huge consumer boycott of mainstream media, of corporate media. And I think that's a good thing. They need to relearn how to get our trust back. And in the meantime, we need to start stitching back together the fabric of American society by respecting people we disagree with. That's all we can do.
I just have to ask, since you are on the left, and I think you're articulating traditional left-wing concerns about economics, what do people on your side think of what you're saying right now?
You know, honestly, you know, the fact that I was on CNN, I take that as a really good sign. My book opens with a scene from CNN of two of their hosts who are both millionaires calling every single person who voted for Donald Trump racist when we know that Donald Trump won the vast majority of people without a college degree, right? And to me, that was this primal scene of these people who had won by every metric, sneering and smearing the people who had lost, right? And so I think it's a really good sign that CNN had me on to talk about my work.
God, I could not have put it as well as you just did. I appreciate your coming on tonight. Batya Ungar-Sargon, thank you very much.
Thank you,